Hi, Jennifer. I wanted to start off by saying thank you for letting me respond to your essay. You had so much great analysis, and we had a lot of similar ideas about Descartes and Hobbes and the video that we responded to. So I really appreciated getting to read that and have your ideas resonate with the ideas that I presented in my response. I, like you, definitely find Descartes to be such an impressive individual, especially for his time, because he was able to think freely and acknowledge that he had to think outside of what was being presented by the Catholic Church. So I definitely agree with you, is that he is an individual. It's definitely challenging those ideas that are presented, and as that he's able to encourage other people to challenge those ideas as well, which makes him, I think, a pretty interesting person, especially for that time and age. And I also agree with you. You asked the question about asking if I couldn't help but think, but if Descartes was alive right now, he'd probably be challenging outdated ideas of the Catholic Church as well. I definitely agree with that idea. I think that some of the teachings of the Catholic Church, this is just my perception, is that some of those teachings are definitely outdated, and because they're outdated, they can be harmful to some individuals. And I think that if Descartes was here at this time, he would encourage people who are super devout followers of the Christian faith to instead of conform to the presented ideas, to confront those ideas and to develop their own sense of, I'm asking these questions and I'm not just accepting what they're saying as correct, because I'm able to develop my ideas. Because now in society, I think that people are not as conforming to that Catholic Church and are able to develop more of a sense of self rather than just agreeing to what it's saying. But I definitely think that was an interesting idea, to see if Descartes was here right now, if he would agree or disagree with that Catholic Church overarching power. I, like you, think that Descartes, like what I was saying, would challenge the devout followers to move away from the accepted ideas and think more for themselves, for sure. In regards to, you were talking about the 7 philosophical consequences of Cartesian thought. I, like you, definitely agree that education is definitely the most important, because as you educate individuals, you're able to come to that sense of thinking for yourself and asking these broad questions. And I, like you, definitely agree that schools, at least lower schools, kind of put this idea that there's only one correct answer and there's only one way to approach something, and this is the right way to do it, kind of similar to this idea of this overarching power of the Catholic Church during the time of Descartes. So I definitely agree with you that students need to learn how to, rather than obey just the ideas that they're given, they need to start thinking critically about them, and that in order to do, and by doing that, they're able to develop a sense of consciousness and develop their own sense of thought. So I think that that's really important to acknowledge, that is that students need to be able to think for themselves rather than be forced into a box that says these are the only correct answers, because that's just not true. I also agree with your idea that most people enjoy that at this point it's not focused on, that most individuals don't just think for themselves. I think that most people enjoy helping others and benefit in their own sense of consciousness and developing a sense of who they are and answering their own questions. They benefit from being able to encourage and support the individuals around them. So I, like you, disagree with Hobbes' ideas that all humans are bad and pessimistic and stuff like that. The only thing that I really had a different idea about within your essay was this idea that our only motivating force is survival. I think at this point in time in society, we have the freedom to enjoy life a little bit more rather than just surviving. I think that deep down people don't want to die, but I think we have the ability to utilize luxury a little bit more and live more of a life rather than just being focused on the ability to stay alive and just survive within society. I think that survival spans over a really large idea, but I think that we definitely have the ability to enjoy it rather than just focusing on survival. Anyways, I really appreciated all of the ideas that you presented with your essay. Thanks.